Welcome to Time Well Spent, a podcast from LaborSync, the only real-time, multilingual timesheet software your business will ever need. Look at your schedule for a second. Like, if your crews are completely booked out for the next, I don't know, 3 months, you must be profitable, right?
Yeah, you would definitely think so.
But today on Time Well Spent, we're pulling apart this concept from a recent LaborSync blog article. And it points out why growing your business without operational controls isn't actually building a bigger business. It's just building a bigger fire.
It is the classic growth trap. Honestly, we
Yeah.
see a packed calendar and we just assume, oh, the margins must be healthy.
Right, of course.
But taking on more work just to cover the overhead of an expanding team without tracking those granular costs, you just end up working twice as hard to break even.
Which is wild. And the article uses this leaky bucket analogy that I think really illustrates the trap perfectly.
Oh, definitely.
So imagine you pour water, which is your rapid growth, into a bucket that has all these tiny holes. And those holes are your untracked costs.
Right, the invisible leaks.
Exactly. So if you turn the hose on full blast, the pressure just tears those holes wider. You end up losing water way faster than you can even pour it in.
Yeah, it's honestly a lot like a restaurant kitchen.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, a chef might double their daily reservations, right?
Uh-huh.
But if no one is tracking how much inventory gets thrown in the trash every night, the food waste just scales up right alongside the revenue.
So you're much busier, but you aren't actually taking home any more money.
Precisely. That kitchen analogy hits the core issue perfectly because the waste is usually invisible until it's too late.
Right.
And in field operations, those leaks take really specific forms. I mean, it's an extra hours spent on a job site because the crew didn't have real-time visibility into the day's budget.
Yeah, or travel time gets guesstimated.
Exactly. Or you hit Friday afternoon and suddenly realize, wait, 3 guys crossed into overtime on Wednesday, but nobody caught it. The root of the problem is making operational decisions based on delayed assumptions rather than live data.
Which explains why relying on paper timesheets is basically asking your crews to do creative writing at 4:30 p.m. on a Friday.
Oh, 100%. Nobody remembers exactly when they crossed the county line on Tuesday. They just guess.
Right. But, okay, say a business owner decides to plug those leaks. They roll out a digital app with GPS tracking. You're going to get pushback, right?
Oh, sure.
Crews are going to feel like, well, Big Brother is suddenly watching their every move. How do you implement that without destroying morale or, breeding a culture of micromanagement?
Well, you really have to reframe what micromanagement actually is.
Yeah.
Because it's really born from anxiety and a lack of data.
Wait, a lack of data?
Think about the traditional setup. A manager doesn't know where the crew is, right? So they call the foreman at 9 a.m., then text him at noon, then call again at 3 p.m.
Yeah, that sounds pretty disruptive.
It is. That is true micromanagement. It shows a complete lack of trust.
I see. So by having a system track things passively, you actually remove that management anxiety.
Precisely. The data speaks for itself. When you have a live map of progress, you don't need to interrupt the work. The system just provides the visibility.
That makes a lot of sense.
As they say, clarity travels faster than micromanagement. Your team gets to just do their jobs without someone breathing down their neck for updates.
Okay, so a manager gets this newfound visibility, they stop interrupting the crews, and the data is flowing. How does this practically translate to scaling the business safely?
Well, it shifts the entire focus of what you measure. Most owners gauge their success by checking the bank balance at the end of the month.
Which makes sense. I mean, that's the money.
It does, but a bank balance is a lagging indicator. It only tells you what happened in the past after the cash is already gone. It's like driving while staring in your rearview mirror.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
To scale safely, you have to measure time. It's your most expensive, non-renewable resource, so it has to be a leading indicator. If you track hours against a project budget in real time, you can adjust your strategy before the profit margin completely evaporates.
And tracking time that closely leads to, well, kind of an uncomfortable realization the blog article points out. Some of your biggest customers might actually be costing you money.
Yeah, the data often reveals that certain jobs just predictably blow past their budget. Or maybe specific clients constantly demand unbilled extras that eat your entire margin.
Man, but having that data gives you the ultimate tool for controlled growth, right? The confidence to just say no.
Exactly. If the math proves a specific type of job is a loser, you just pass. You stop feeding the fire.
That is incredibly powerful.
It is. Which leaves you with a crucial question to consider today. If your business suddenly doubled its client list tomorrow, would your current operations hold the weight, or would the pressure completely shatter your bucket?
This episode of Time Well Spent was brought to you by LaborSync. Track employee hours and job site locations in real time from any device. Start your risk-free trial today at laborsync.com.